Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Julian from the Binary Lab. I'm pleased to inform you that I was able to again conquer the conditions there in the markets. So, what exactly am I talking about? I have developed a way to handle these kind of sickening lunchtime market conditions. And these are the same kind of conditions that have been prevalent very much of this week. So, this week, if you look at it, the range has been miserable, and you can actually see proof that this works. Okay, these are the most recent trades, and you can see that the hit rate is very, very high. So there, if you look at the results, there is no. I do not use any martingale, and I have on also, I've actually just made a whole bunch of screenshots inside of my group as well, just to show you a couple of like case examples, of like how this actually works. So the conditions of that, I actually have just created like a 5 minutes trading video. I just cut it to really short because it's not rocket science actually. I've just created a video right here just to chronograph how it works, and basically any of you who is in the Binary Lab Elite, you're gonna get access to this method, and I want to show you like how this can really help you out because right now if you look at the market range, a lot of the time the range is miserable. It's like within 3 pips, and this week Monday was really good, and then Tuesday until London was still okay, and then New York it became just garbage. What was typically garbage about this week is that I'm not sure if you noticed, but if you try to do like a Fibonacci retracement, there's a lot of the time. I'm just gonna see if this one is any better than it was yesterday, but yesterday was absolute garbage. So I'm gonna just move these lines around. And exactly, you see, this is what has been the problem since like the beginning of this, no, since Tuesday. Okay, um, typically, people look for a strong reverse around the 161.8, but ever since Monday was good, but ever since Monday, like the market seems to be very confused as to when it's gonna reverse, when it's gonna continue. So, you know, let's talk about common sense. All right, if there is no fixed idea as to what the market is going to do, if you also watch my recent Bitcoin study video, is I kind of like mentioned, if you don't know what to do, then stay put, don't do anything at all. And the market is just that way. If the market doesn't know what to do, it stays put and does nothing. So if you look at this recent market conditions, there's going to be a lot of flat movement, a lot of like very unpolarized movement. And the best part, is I've just developed a way to be able to do it. This is a very highly accurate method, and I have just been, chronographing this methods in my binary lab group. I've been updating it since, early part of today. I've just had so much success, with this method that I just created, and again, I was looking at my previous videos that I created based on the Martingale Master, which is a free series that you can still get, by the way. So you will find a link in the video description for Pocket Option. That is the best broker that I recommend right now, and the broker accepts people in all countries. And let's say if you start out for with that broker, you actually get access to not only my copy trading group, you also get access to Martingale Master Program as well, if that's what you want. And basically, I want to explain to you how this method that I created today came about. Okay, this method, I was looking at the Martingale Master Program, which I recently decided to just give away to people in my copy trading group as well. And I was thinking about it. I was like, hey, um, like the market is having so little movement right now. And by the way, the market condition that we've been seeing a lot, in this, like today, yesterday, is something that is very typical of, say, the lunchtime in, most of the time, lunchtime, you're going to see this kind of price pattern, it's just very constipated. It's just like, 1 2 pips, 3 pips, and then how do you trade it? So I found out not only the way that you can trade it, but you can trade it a lot. Okay, so I look at the market and I ask myself, based on what I previously taught, and let's say, recently I also made some videos where I was talking about like profitability, how to increase your profitability. So I was talking about like a lot of people already have a very good weight loss ratio, and without doing any morning, you're just keeping the same standard trading size, no multiple trades per minute, just keeping constant with what you do. You can actually be able to take a market that's even just like this and be able to trade almost every minute and get consistent results. So this is something that is, I think it's really gonna help a lot of people because there are some people that, I mean, this week the market is just this way because there's a lot of there's a lot of like expectancy for some of the news events and trade agreements and whatnot, and for the traders it's really bad because let's look at the copy trading, for instance. Like today, a the good news is, okay, a lot of the traders that we're copying in a group, they're not actually trading today, which is good because it tells me that they know how to recognize bad conditions and they're staying out of the market completely. But the bad thing is that the account's not going anywhere. So, and who knows how long these conditions are going to last. Okay, so I remember a time when I was in the earlier days of binary lab, when I was changing methods on a very regular basis. Why? Because you never know. Sometimes a certain market condition can be prevalent for 1 year and a half. Sometimes a certain market condition can change every week or 2 weeks. But whatever it is, we have to adapt. Because if we do not adapt, then we're going to be stuck being unable to trade, or we're going to be, getting restless. It's kind of like if you go into the woods hunting for deer or rabbits, you got all your ammo with you, and you don't see any of your target coming out, and then you just get restless and you start shooting into trees and plants and whatnot. So that's how a lot of traders can self-destruct, and a lot of traders will start to look at the market, and then they see conditions like, and especially because like a lot of the brokers nowadays, pocket option now, unfortunately they also have the auto zoom feature, which means that if I shift the chart into view, then it's going to auto zoom, and it kind of gets it can be a little bit deceptive for traders sometimes. So in this, in a very restless, in a very consolidated market, a lot of people can get restless and lose money by doing stupid stuff. So what if, okay, you can take a market that's restless, okay, and trade every single minute or every other minute. What if you could find at least 30 opportunities in an hour, even in the most consolidated markets? Well, um, so this is actually what this is what I have for you, waiting for you inside of the Binary Lab Elite. Okay, Binary Lab Elite is going to have uh, the first the first take at this, but at the same time, I'm also wondering. Okay, like I'm going to stay put and look at how often this method is going to be repeated in the market, because like how many of you would actually be interested in learning this as a standalone? Okay, is there anyone who is interested in getting this method as a standalone? I cannot tell you, like how. Right now I think this is very powerful. So like I just started out testing, and now I'm starting to increase trading sizes on this one. I'm seeing that this is very, very powerful, and almost every time I go into the market with this kind of setup, you know, uh, it is like 80%, 80% win. So, um, how many of you, if you're interested in getting this as a standalone, okay? So I want to make this a bit, the people in Binary Lab Elite automatically get this, but I'm also wanted to ask a question to the people out there watching this video. How many of you are interested in this as a standalone method? Comment beneath this video. If I have at least 10 comments, if you're interested on this as a standalone method, I will arrange something for you. This, well, the market is not going to be like this all the time. However, this condition is great for lunchtime, because every day the lunchtime, the market is just like this. Tea break, lunchtime, the market is always like this, always in this kind of like, shitty range that we can't really do anything with for most part until you have something like this method. Okay, so give me your comments down beneath this video. Once again, there's 10 comments and above. I will be looking into making this a standalone available for some of you who, you know, you just only have time to trade at lunch and the market's always bad at lunch. And this could be, a game changer for you. And I also want to create this as a middle ground because not everyone is able to join the binary elite. And some people just want a method that can work right now in this market and just bang out a lot of good trades on it. So give me your comments, and for those of you in the binary lab elite, head over to the forum. There's a new thread that's already been created about this. Go check it out. Bye for now.